I've studied how Victoria Beckham dresses for years, and at 50, her wardrobe is a masterclass in quiet power. In this video, I'm showing you the simple style habits she uses and how I've made them work in my everyday life over 40. But there's one thing she never wears anymore, and once you see why, you might stop wearing it too. Let's start with one of the biggest lessons I've taken from Victoria Beckham's style, and that's the power of tailoring. She doesn't just wear clothes that fit, she wears clothes that do something. Her jackets sculpt the shoulders, her trousers lengthen the legs, her dresses skim the body in the most flattering way without ever feeling too tight or too loose. And if there's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older, it's that tailoring can take years off your look, not by hiding anything, but by adding shape where we want it. Now, tailoring doesn't mean you need a full custom wardrobe. Not at all. It's about choosing pieces that are intentionally structured. A blazer that defines your waist, or high-waisted trousers that give you that long line silhouette, even if you're petite like me. Victoria is actually not that tall, but the way she styles her clothes makes her look statuesque. That's no accident. She's using structure and proportion as tools. And if you're wondering where to begin, start with a great blazer. Not the boxy kind. Avoid those. I'm talking about one that nips in slightly at the waist, has some shape through the shoulders, and falls just right over the hips. Victoria wears hers with everything, over a simple tee and jeans, layered on a dress, even paired with wide leg pants. It's that versatile. I also recommend trying structured midi dresses. They're easy one and done pieces that look sleek without needing much else. So next time you're shopping or editing your closet, look at your pieces and ask, does this shape me, or does it just hang? If it's the latter, it might be time to upgrade. Tailoring doesn't mean tight, it means thoughtful, and it works at any age. Now let's talk about color, because Victoria Beckham has mastered the art of neutrals without ever looking bland. You'll rarely see her in bright prints or loud patterns. Instead, she layers subtle shades, like soft taupe with creamy ivory, or deep charcoal with dusty beige. Her style proves that a muted color palette can still be rich, dynamic, and even dramatic when it's done right. I used to think neutrals were too safe, but honestly, they've become my favorite way to feel pulled together without fussing. And they allow your accessories to shine, whether that's a bold earring or a great shoe. Neutrals also create visual length, especially if you match tones from top to bottom. I've even noticed my skin tone looks more luminous in soft, balanced colors instead of harsh contrasts. And if you're unsure about which neutrals work for you, here's a quick tip. Hold them up to your face in natural light. Some women glow in cool grays and soft whites. Others suit warm oatmeal and sand tones better. Don't be afraid to experiment. Neutrals are not one tone fits all. They're more nuanced than we give them credit for. And when you find your shades, you'll realize how powerful they can be. I've added links to some of my favorite neutral-toned pieces in the description box below. Things you can actually wear and feel amazing in, without feeling like you're disappearing into the background. From beautifully cut trousers to cozy layering knits, they're the kinds of pieces Victoria herself would wear. Now, let's talk about something Victoria Beckham does so well, and it's something a lot of women underestimate: showing less skin to make more of a statement. She rarely wears plunging necklines or mini hemlines anymore, and yet she still looks incredibly striking. That's because she understands that elegance and allure often come from what's not revealed. Her high necks, long sleeves, and midi lengths draw the eye to silhouette, posture, and presence, not just skin. I used to think, especially in my 30s, that looking stylish meant showing a little shoulder or a little leg just to keep things interesting. But I've honestly found that once I embraced more coverage, I actually felt more powerful. There's something so commanding about a woman who doesn't feel the need to reveal too much, but still holds attention the moment she walks into a room. That's very much the Victoria effect. If you look closely at her outfits, it's not just about modesty, it's about intentional layering. She'll wear a high neck top, but the fabric might be sheer or have a subtle drape. She'll pair long sleeves with a dramatic skirt or pointed heels. That balance between coverage and silhouette creates a quiet drama that feels elevated, especially over 50. It says, "I know what I'm doing," without shouting. And don't forget one of Victoria's secret weapons: sunglasses. She rarely steps out without them. Go for an oversized rectangular pair, or even something vintage inspired. It adds that bit of mystery and polish. So next time you're wondering what to wear, think, how can I say more by showing less? All right, now for one of my favorite things Victoria Beckham does, because it's so achievable for any of us. She takes basics and gives them a twist. Her outfits might seem simple at first glance, like a classic button-down or a plain knit, but there's always something interesting going on. Maybe it's a dramatic sleeve, an asymmetrical hemline, or a sharp architectural shape. That one unexpected detail takes it from basic to designer in seconds. Victoria's version of minimalism is never boring. She plays with contrast, scale, and shape. These details draw the eye without needing print or sparkle. For women over 50, this is a perfect way to stay modern without looking like you're chasing trends. You don't need to go wild here. Just choose one item in your outfit that feels a bit off in the best way. For example, a simple pair of black trousers, but with a split hem that shows off your shoe. Or a knit top that looks classic from the front, but has an interesting drape in the back. These little surprises make your outfit feel more intentional. Now I'm curious to hear from you. What's one basic piece in your closet that could use an upgrade? Maybe it's that cardigan you've worn 100 times, or the black pants that feel a little flat now. Let me know in the comments. I love hearing how you're rethinking your wardrobe. Now let's get into something that doesn't get enough credit in everyday style, but makes all the difference: footwear that anchors your entire look. If you take a peek at Victoria Beckham's style, her shoes are never an afterthought. They ground the outfit, reinforce the silhouette, and add a certain edge that makes the whole thing feel finished. Whether it's a tall, structured boot, a sleek, pointed toe, or even a bold platform, her shoes don't just match the outfit, they complete it. For us women over 50, comfort obviously matters, but that doesn't mean you need to sacrifice style. Victoria is a great example of someone who evolved her footwear. Remember her stilettos in the early 2000s? These days, she leans more into fashion-forward flats, sculptural block heels, and elegant boots that add presence without pain. And honestly, that's where I've landed too. I still want height sometimes, but I want to be able to walk in it, live in it. One little shift that changed everything for me was choosing shoes based on the shape they add to my outfit. A pointed flat adds polish to jeans. A high shaft boot transforms a midi dress into something strong. A loafer suddenly gives a minimalist look a little attitude. Don't be afraid to try something bold in your footwear. It's a safe way to add personality without overcomplicating your look. Another tip I learned from Victoria is to keep the color of your shoe in harmony with your outfit, but not always matching. Think tonal. If you're in neutrals, a warm brown or deep oxblood shoe can add depth. If you're wearing black, try navy or slate gray instead. It's just unexpected enough to feel intentional. This kind of shoe styling adds interest without breaking the look. All right, now that we've covered how the right shoes can totally transform your outfit, it's time to wrap things up with something I think every woman over 50 needs to hear. Because Victoria Beckham made one specific change in her wardrobe that completely redefined her style. And honestly, I followed her lead, and I've never looked back. Let's get into the one thing she never wears anymore. Here's the final detail that says a lot about Victoria's style evolution, and it's actually something she stopped wearing. Jeans with distressing or excessive embellishments. No more rips, rhinestones, or that overdone, trendy denim. Instead, her jeans are clean, structured, often high-waisted, and always perfectly tailored. It's such a simple shift, but it gives her outfits this elevated, modern look that feels grown, not outdated. This really resonated with me. I used to hang on to those old ripped jeans thinking they made me look more casual or cool. But honestly, they were just dragging my outfits down. Once I swapped them for clean-cut dark denim or structured straight-leg jeans, everything I wore on top suddenly looked more refined, even my most basic tees and knits. And I still feel like me, just a more polished version. Victoria usually goes for jeans that hit at the ankle, slightly tapered or straight, with no fuss. She lets the fit do the talking. That's the secret. No rhinestones, no whiskering, no embroidery. Just denim that holds its shape and flatters yours. It's classic but not boring, and it pairs effortlessly with everything from sharp blazers to oversized knits. And it's not just about looks, it's about aging out of pieces that feel too young or trying too hard. That's something I think a lot of us realize in our 40s and 50s. We stop dressing to prove something and start dressing to express something. And for Victoria, and for me, it means leaving distressed denim behind. So if you've still got a pair of overly ripped or bedazzled jeans in your closet, maybe it's time to retire them. Try on a clean high-rise pair in a deep wash or ivory tone and see how it transforms your look. And the best part? You'll never miss the rips. Trust me. If you found these tips helpful, then you definitely don't want to miss this next video, because I'm diving into Coco Chanel's most iconic fashion advice and how it still applies to women over 50 today. There's a reason her legacy lives on, and I'll be showing you how to apply her timeless style rules in a way that feels modern, wearable, and completely you. Trust me, it pairs beautifully with the Victoria tips we just covered. Stay tuned. It's a good one.